Welcome to Killing Time. I'm Iyaz Akhtar, and with me, as always, is the Florida Gator, the Juice Pop, the Mr. Florida, which is his last worst nickname because I think he was stuttering at the time. Well, that was his Skype connection. JB, what's up?
Not much. I don't know if you know, I'm in Florida.
That's why we call him that, and when he moves, we're still going to call him Florida. It's going to be like that Forrest Gump bit. There was Florida from Provincetown, but he's also living in Boston at some point, which is
perfect.
That's the plan. If you're stalking the Florida Gator, you know where to look.
Awesome.
Let's talk about some housekeeping stuff. You're like, hey, I'm somehow watching this video, so this thing was actually posted. It happened. I know. I've been on vacation. I was also, there was Labor Day. There's editing stuff. There's all kinds of crap. And I know Rob is very mad at me for not releasing any videos.
Oh, yes. I'm so upset.
See, I can feel all of your rage through him on that one, and I apologize for that, and hopefully tonight I'll actually do this right after the show. So, this is a show that searches for entertainment that doesn't suck, and I've actually done a couple of things in preparation for the show.
What'd you do?
First, I went on vacation, which is very important.
Good for you. You needed it.
So, I want to review Universal Studios Florida, which I know you've been to recently.
Yes.
All right, so let's go world by world. Or let's pick
I haven't been to the Islands of Adventure recently, but I have been to the main world Universal Studios and the whichever Harry Potter's there.
Well, there's Pottermore and then there's Hogwarts, I think.
Hogwarts. I think it must be Pottermore. It's the one I went to, and the ride.
Hogsmeade.
Yeah, Hogsmeade. Yes.
Well,
and I went on the Gringotts ride.
Gringotts ride's fine. Let me explain. Let's start with the worst one because you search for entertainment that doesn't suck. A lot of the stuff there is really fun. The thing to do last of all the things you do there that are under the height of, I think, 48 inches, because I guess, all the adult rides that you get to do is had my son with me. Do not ride the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Bad?
It got us so sick. There was the three of us. It was Liz, myself, my son. We're sitting in this cart kind of thing. It's four people side by side, and you're facing some kind of projection screen. So it's a
3D ride, kind of like most of the rides are there.
Yeah, but the other thing is your car is on a track, so you are moving within a machine. Actually moving within a building, and you're looking at different screens, and you're also, so imagine like this is your car, and you are staring at the screen, and then it moves like this, your car, throughout the whole thing, which is fine normally.
So similar to the Gringotts ride. I mean, you're in a car and you're moving around looking at different screens.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think of like the Simpsons ride, it's kind of like this, all this, right?
Yeah, all in the same place.
So
yeah.
If you listen to audio, I'm trying to explain that you're moving only in a very small space when it comes to the Simpsons, when it comes to the Hogwarts, not Hogwarts, the Journey into Forbidden Journey, excuse me.
Yeah.
You're moving through actual space. You're moving through a lot of space. And like you said, it's like the Gringotts ride. It made us so sick. Something about the frame rate not matching up probably with the movement and the motion of what was going on in front of us. Because in front of us is like a Quidditch match or some dragon shows up, and there's a mix of practical effects and these visual effects, and I believe you're wearing 3D specs the whole time. So like there's all of this conflicting stimuli that just messes with your head. To the point that Liz got so sick, she had to go back to the hotel and stay there the whole day because we did that first.
Oof.
So I tell you guys at home, if you're going to do a ride, do that one last because it is the end of your day.
End of the day.
Or take Dramamine. But like, I've flown in a jet, like an actual like fighter jet, once for 25 minutes. I took Dramamine before it. I was okay with that. I almost threw up after the Harry Potter ride.
Yep.
Now, since my son was with me, I soldiered on. I'm like, okay, Liz had to go. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm dad. I can handle this.
Yeah, you just took a knee, took a couple deep breaths, and moved on. How was he? How did he do? Was he sick?
He closed his eyes for most of it.
Which, on those 3D rides, that's what you got to do if you're going to get sick.
Yeah, because I missed about half the ride because I did the same thing. That's probably maybe why Liz, maybe she saw more than us. But I'm pretty sure that's what caused all the issues. So he did really well with it to the point where, like I said before, he wanted to do the Simpsons ride. Like I said, it's a small space movement, and he wanted to do it right after. And before we go to the Simpsons ride, after the Forbidden Journey, which is a very proper name, we were going to eat lunch because that's what you do.
Right.
So we each split a hot dog, which is about 12-inch hot dog. We split the hot dog. I have photos of him. Not going to show him here. He looks super sad, but he's just waiting for me to hand him the hot dog. But it's actually very fun. I'll show it to you right now. And so we do this. We go to the Simpsons ride, and I think we get to go on it twice, and nothing happens, by the way. There's no vomit at the end of this story.
Excellent.
That's what everyone's expecting. You're expecting, okay, so you kept doing these motion sickness rides, and you did.
Yeah.
You eventually retched, didn't you? Nope. Didn't happen. I will say that the service at Universal Studios was way better than I expected.
Yes.
Did you?
Last time I was there, I was very the best service I had when I went to I was actually in the Simpsons World at that little. It's almost like a cafeteria thing where you have all those choices of what you want to eat. It was great. They said, "Oh, can we help you? Okay, you need to walk over there. What do you suggest?" I asked somebody, and they told me something good. I had one of the crusty burgers, and they said, "Make sure to ask for it with a little less cheese than usual." And it was just really nice people, and it was really quick too.
Yeah, I was expecting. This is me being a snob. It's a second-rate Disney World. It's in Orlando. What can they possibly get? I don't know what they're doing to train the people there at Universal Studios Orlando, Florida. Those people were like super nice at all times, and at early morning or late nights, they're all just so positive, and I don't know why. And it was when I went there, it was pretty raining. It was just raining the whole time, which was actually just great because we were all okay with this. We basically brought like swim gear anyway,
Right.
and so we just wore it and just got soaked, and it was great. So that's that. The Marvel World there, I don't know how long that'll be there. I don't know how long the contract is that Universal has this Marvel rights. But man, was that fun just to be a part of that thing.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see that yet.
I've been to it before. I just haven't been to it recently.
So the Simpsons part, though, you've seen that. I got to go to Moe's.
Yep, had a Duff beer or a Flaming Moe, which were both cool.
I did have both of those. They had also Duff Dry and Duff Light. Very cool. They also have like Duff Gardens, which is a separate area. So if you like Simpsons World, and if you like beer, by the way, surprisingly, Duff was a pale ale, not an India pale ale, but a pale ale, an American pale ale, and it's actually pretty good. Surprisingly,
it's not bad. It's pretty good.
I was expecting some kind of like Budweiser like clone, something that's very very thin and macro brew, but very good. I liked it.
Yeah, no, it was surprisingly good. And what was also surprisingly good in the Simpsons World is the taco truck. I don't know if you tried that, but it was really good.
I did go to the taco truck. I don't remember much about the taco truck. I was just buying tacos, lots and lots of tacos. I remember the receipts.
Yes.
There was Duff beer for me and Duff beer for you, and then I bought tacos at some point.
Yeah, it's an expensive day. Let's just say that.
I think because of where I live right now, I thought the prices were quite reasonable.
Because you're in the city, yeah.
I'm in the city. I live in New York City, and it's very expensive out here. And we went out to dinner. It was like, oh, there's three of us. And we had it's $40. I'm like, that's not bad at all, actually. Like $40 for like a pizza, a couple of burgers, and because and by the way, where I live, basically, just imagine your entire world is like the concession stand at a movie theater. But you just kind of learn to say, instead of going, what is this? You're like, yeah, well, that's a soda costs like $95. That's normal.
That's
right?
What it should be. That's life.
Like the beer's $6. That's a deal. That's a good deal for one beer that's about this tall. $6. That's a great deal.
So, what was your favorite ride? Both worlds, everywhere, everything.
Favorite ride? I have to think about this. I know the Spider-Man ride was kind of fun. The Transformers ride was pretty fun. They're very similar. There was what was my favorite ride? Kong was probably my favorite from a technical standpoint.
That's the new one, right? That just opened, Skull Island or whatever it is.
It's brand new, and we got to go on this thing, I think 3 times. You go into the standard, like, okay, we get into this cart, and we're going, not cart, like it's a long tram, and we're going to go and see if we can find Kong on an island or whatever. And the whole thing is also a 3D movie. So not to spoil it. So you're in this big tram with all these other people, and you put on these special goggles, which are 3D glasses, and you just look out. There's screens to the left and right of you. So you're also traveling through space, in 2D space. You're moving forward. And actually, it's 3D space. Well, actually, you're not moving up. You know what I mean. You're moving actually in actual space. And you look to the left and like, okay, here comes some dinosaurs to attack you. And then Kong shows up on the right, and you can hear with the sound cue. And you look over, and there he is in 3D. He jumps over your car, and the car shakes, and it goes over. Like, it's really well done. Provided zero motion sickness effects at all, which is one of the reasons why we were very surprised anything would. But this thing was really on point. You go on this for a while. It's got some water effects because things are killed and they splash on you as they do. And there's an actual animatronic Kong to scale when you get past it. Looked great, was fantastic, which actually finally reminded me what my favorite ride was, because I forgot it. I knew what it was, but this got us in trouble. And here's what we'll talk about real quick. The Jurassic Park ride, which is a water ride. You've been on this from the smile on your face?
Yep. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so we went on this ride about, I'd say, 4 times.
Yeah.
And there's like no wait time. Express pass, no pass, what doesn't matter. You're going through this thing because the boat holds lots of people. It's a standard water ride. Think like think of Disney. What's that Disney one with the hippo? You know what I'm talking about? The Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise, yeah.
I think the Jungle Cruise gone wrong. So we're on this thing, and Liz, as she does, is a person with a camera. So she just takes the whole recording of the whole thing. Right. And the first time, nothing happens, and we go through it. And there's really lots of fun, and we get our pictures. We got the picture pass, so you can see Alden scared, when he's on the ride, and we go through this thing. A second time, a third time, and as she's recording, and you're about to go through this big fall, the big fall of the ride, because this was a thrill water ride. It turns out that a person watching the camera said, "Person in row 1, turn off your camera. We will stop the ride. We will stop the ride." Camera comes down.
Ouch!
We get down the thing. She's laughing her head off. We're laughing too. She's like, "I didn't know that we couldn't have video cameras," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's like signs everywhere."
Everywhere.
She's like, "I saw no flash photography, no this." I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to steal the whole ride and publish it," that kind of thing. But didn't matter, because on the recording is the warning, which is so great.
That's awesome.
And it's distinguished as our third version of it. And that was like my favorite, like, to do over and over again. The Mummy ride was freaking incredible.
I love the Mummy ride, especially that part where the room gets really, really hot with the fire and everything. Oh, it's a great ride.
Yeah, like I hadn't been able to go to a thrill park or like these kinds of fun rides. And the Mummy ride, I was expecting to be the same thing. I had no idea. And my son is terrified going into this. He doesn't like the movie. He's seen the movie. It scares him still. And he doesn't like the line to it because it's creepy as well.
Yeah.
And we had to convince him to go on the ride. So we get in the front row, and then we're like, "You ready to go?" He's like, "I'm ready to go." Liz asked him same thing. Then the attendant can tell he is freaked out, and they ask him like 3 times, "Are you sure you want to go?" No, don't ask your pet. Do you really want to go? You sure? And he's like, "Yeah." So they pull the thing down, and off we go. It was so fast. Actually, not fast. It was such a quick moving car. Not like the ride was quick. It's a long ride. And there's all kinds of bizarre sensory things, like you just said. The room gets really hot, and there's like I believe a ceiling of fire.
Yep.
Which was super intense, way fun, way more fun than I expected. Because I was just, again, expecting like, woo, we're like kind of in a little Minecraft thing, or shaft thing. Not Minecraft, Shaft. That's what I was expecting. But no, way better.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, that's my absolute favorite ride for the reason of thrill. Favorite ride for getting in trouble is definitely Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
And I think the best put together ride they have is Kong. So if you're in Orlando or you're thinking, "Hey, I'm going to go to Universal Studios, but it's going to kind of suck," it's not going to suck. It's
better than you think it is. It's not just to knock off Disney. I've been to both Disney and Universal recently, and both have their good points. They're both worth it.
Yeah, they got all kinds of... They have enough intellectual property at this point. I think they can still hang on to that. Like, there's also this Monster Cafe. So if you're looking for something to eat cheap, like really good, they have this one that's themed with Frankenstein and Wolfman. Nobody goes into it because it looks like, why would you ever go into this thing?
Right.
It's great. So if you find it, there's that. Have you watched anything or done anything of entertainment value?
I recently watched the newer second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I don't know when it came out, sometime within the last 6 months.
Out of the Shadows?
Out of the Shadows, I believe that is it, yes.
Okay, so how was it?
In my opinion, I found it very fun. I don't know why, and I felt the same way about the first one that they did, with Megan Fox and everything. It's not taking itself too seriously. There's fighting, there's humor, and it's action-packed enough to keep your interest.
Okay. So.
But that being said, I went into it with absolutely the lowest expectations.
Okay, so I believe I had the same expectations for Transformers 4.
Uh-huh.
Boy, did they blow that up. They're like, yeah, here's your expectations. Oh, we're somehow gonna disappoint you. Let me ask you about.
The problem was also Transformers 4 was way too long.
Well, I think the other thing is they marketed it with freaking Optimus Prime on the back of a dinosaur or Dinobot.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen for like till the end of the movie, and it's like for 3 minutes.
Yeah. No. That was like I said, this is like an hour and a half of mindless fun.
So how's the plot? Does it actually make sense?
It does if you ever watch one of the cartoons.
Okay.
I think you did need some background in the Turtles to kind of understand what was going on and the characters. Bebop, Rocksteady. That guy with the weird octopus guy that comes. I can't remember his name. That comes out of the guy's belly. Crane. Thank you.
There's also, I believe, Baxter Stockman, played by Tyler Perry.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I have no notes, by the way. This is off the top of my head because this is the information I keep in my head for no reason whatsoever.
Yes.
I believe the plot of the movie is that there is some kind of anti-ooze that can make the turtles human. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, it's by Donatello reverse engineering some purple ooze that changes Bebop and Rocksteady into Bebop and Rocksteady.
Okay. So if you can turn humans into animals, it would have.
It has the opposite effect, apparently.
Can you keep
science goes bye-bye.
Can you keep dosing the same person over and over again?
No, they don't show that. I don't know. Not sure.
It's not a two-way ooze.
I don't think so.
Okay. So, how are the villains?
Bebop and Rocksteady were stupid, as they always are and should be. Krang actually looked just like I expected Krang to look. It was CG, but it was okay. And then you have Shredder again, who was just like he was in the first movie.
How was Casey Jones, played by, I believe, Stephen Amell?
He was actually really good. But, he does a lot of the, he's really good at the fight scenes and whatnot from all his time on Arrow, so he made all the fight scenes look really good, and he gets his little quips here and there, and he's actually pretty good. Megan Fox is really just there for look.
Yeah, I believe from the trailer you could see that she's there to walk around in slow-mo. And
yep, and she does it well.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's a question.
She's been doing it for years.
Yeah, again, she's got a niche.
Yes, she does, and she works it.
There's the title of the episode. She works her niche. Not gonna leave that one alone right there. Is there anything else you want to say on Ninja Turtles 2 before we move on?
No, like I said, mindless fun entertainment. If you liked the first one that they just did, you'll like the second one. More of the same.
Let's talk about some quick news before we wrap up. I saw today that Margot Robbie has signed up to be officially now Harley Quinn in a spin-off movie, which is going to happen soon. I believe she's also like a producer of this movie, which I think is very unusual because I don't know her movie-making ability. I know that Ben Affleck is producing his, but he's kind of got experience with that. I haven't IMDb'd Margot Robbie.
Right.
So
I think it was probably to try and get. She was probably hesitant to take the deal, but then they might have sweetened it by saying, get into the producing side of things, which she's probably interested in, which I saw her in an interview, and she is. So I'm guessing that's how they sweetened the deal to kind of make her go on, even after all the bad press that Suicide Squad got.
That's not good. That already says, based on what you just said, that it's very smart, very astute, but it also implies that the movie is something that's undesirable on its
Exactly.
face.
Yes, I would guess. But the problem is she's just going on what's happened so far. There's no director attached. There's no, I don't think there's a script written. So she's kind of got to go on, who's involved in the DC movies right now. And right now, it's not very promising.
Yeah, and as a producer, she might actually have an input as to who's directing.
Right.
So like, hey, listen, I'm putting up some of my name here. Don't mess it up for me.
And she hasn't been very vocal about it, but some of the other people have been vocal that there was a good movie with the footage shot for Suicide Squad, but through editing, it was deteriorated, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So if you think this episode sucked, you blame the editing. Okay? That's how you should always think of any show of mine and Rob's. You should think of that. Finite comedy, if it sucks, it's the editor's fault. Or you watched it wrong. All right,
exactly.
That's how I'm going to say it. You watched it wrong.
It's your fault.
That's how it should be done.
Yes.
I think it's a good casting move. Obviously, I liked her as Harley.
She was very good in the part, and I think there is a good story to be told, with that character.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it.
Yeah.
because they kind of basically took a small cut, a teaser essentially of Mad Love, added it to something else. I think I think all the characters needed work, to be honest, in that movie.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad. But I'm hoping that if it's singularly focused, we go, look, we've already introduced the crazy clown girl. Let's go ahead and we can kind of reintroduce her again if we have to, but we can move it along a lot faster because
you already know who she is.
Right. So again, DC doing the opposite of Marvel of like, here's 55,000 things, and like, let's take that one and move it up. So I think that's all for this episode. There's another thing.
I think that's a good episode.
I think so.
I mean, if you didn't like it, that's your fault.
Your fault for making this happen, Patreon people, and you, Bob, and me. It's all our fault. And you watching at home or on the street, or I don't know why you're in the street. Get back on the sidewalk. You're gonna get hit. Come on, get, or get across. Quick. Okay,
Quick. Good job.
Yeah, geez, yeah. You worry me. I worry about you. So
I understand.
Anyway,
I appreciate it.
For more episodes, I'm sure you can find this thing everywhere. It's killingtime.tv, and there's all links to all kinds of stuff. If you want to subscribe, go subscribe on YouTube and all that other stuff where you're already turned off by now, so you're not paying attention. So we'll see everybody next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.